Hey everybody, Ryan here, bringing yet another stock up commentary. This is going to be the Group of Death in the MSL! Round of 32, Lost Saga MSL, Group F. Group of Death! Flash, firebathero, Jaedong, and Hwasun. What can you ask for? What more can you ask for? And just right off the bat, I don't care if this is a TVT, because I know this is going to be an awesome TVT. We're going to have firebathero against Flash. Firebathero, both of these players are actually, these are their best matchups. firebathero has also always been a TVT specialist, kind of turned into a TVZ specialist as well this season. I mean, really stepped up his game. Still worse against Protoss, but overall still a very good player, especially known for when he wins for his very, very, very colorful ceremonies. And Flash, of course, Flash is the ultimate weapon. He's the Terran Terminator. He is a friggin' awesome player, and TVT is also his best matchup at about, what, 68%? All of his matchups are over 60-something, so he's an insane player, and I really look forward to seeing how these guys will match up against each other here. 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Some people might think that Flash is going to completely wipe the floor with firebathero here, but I know that firebathero has actually beaten Flash before, so don't count him out quite yet. So we're going to have firebathero here at the bottom right. This is the 5 o'clock in white, and we're going to have Flash at 11 o'clock in red, both playing Terran. The map Carthage is a fairly new map. Very, very Zerg-fared, but that's not really applicable here. I don't really know how it would work out for Terrans. I don't believe there has been a match involving Terran on this map yet. Mostly been Zerg ZVPs. If there has been, I've probably missed it or something. Well, of course there have been. I just, during the TVT, during the heavy Terran stages, and of course I was commentating on some of those, so I don't know what the hell I'm smoking. Excuse me, people. I'm just so excited for this match. For this entire group, I can hardly contain myself. So, all in all, really looking forward to seeing what happens here. Whether one of these guys go for something funky or not. This is a two-player map, so one player definitely knows where the other player is. Whether it's going to have some early scouts. All in all, going to be very interesting. There's, it's a two-player map, and it reminds, at least main-wise, it reminds a little bit of Tau Cross. There's a small natural, although of course there's a small choke between your natural and your main, a much bigger choke into your natural though, and a lot of ground to cover. Despite this being a two-player map, there's a decent amount of ground to cover, and a lot of ways you have to take, a lot of little pathways you have to run around, because you can't open up the middle. There are 3 Xel'Naga temples blocking it out, but they have a lot of HP, and it takes a long time to take those down. But if you do so, you can open yourself up for a lot of vulnerability. So yeah, Flash, meanwhile, has gotten out of the barracks and is getting his gas, so that's pretty early, and no surprise there. Very early scat from firebathero. That's very interesting. Just gonna mine around, see if there's something funky coming his way. I don't actually see any barracks yet for him. Apparently, firebathero is probably going for a 14 command center. That's very interesting. Gonna go for early economy, trying to get an economic advantage going on Flash here. That's, of course, overall a very good idea. And I'm not actually sure if Flash has ever... I don't think Flash has actually ever beaten firebathero. Now that I think about it, I've seen more than one match where firebathero has beaten Flash, but I'm not sure. I mean, they showed us some stats in that red bar upstairs, and apparently showed that firebathero is 3-0 over Flash. I'm not sure if that's just in the MSL or what. So command center and barracks in a more like blocking position being set up just in case some forces come his way. SCV just now coming in from Flash. He's not going to spot this. Knows that firebathero's gotten for early economics. Going to try to harass as much as he can. Just now gas coming up from firebathero. So he's going to be very late in tech and troops. But if Flash just keeps let this going without any pressure from him, firebathero's definitely going to get an economic advantage. So there we go. Flash actually sending out a Marine. Going to see whether he sends out any more Marines. I'm not sure if he's building anymore. Overall, it's going to be very interesting to see. 70% of people say that Flash will beat firebathero. That's an interesting statistic and a realistic statistic. Although, if there's a Terran player to beat Flash, that is definitely firebathero. Commands are now finally up, and the Marine, along with the SCV, we're going to see whether it tries to build a bunker. The SCV heavily damaged. No, it's just going to use that SCV and that Marine to try to take down some SCVs. Going to try to do some economic damage. But now the first Marine now out for Firebat Heroes. Well, one Marine does go down of Firebat Heroes, and Flash retreats with one SCV goes down. I'm sorry for Firebat Hero, but Flash loses his Marine and manages to retreat with his own SCV before any damage. More damage gets done, and now floating away his barracks. I think soon enough Firebat Hero will do the same as soon as he feels pretty safe. Now getting his factory. Meanwhile, Flash almost has his machine shop ready. A bunker actually being set down here by Firebat Hero. He's definitely trying to play careful. First Vulture now out for Flash, so there's a reason for being careful here, because Flash having an early tech advantage and gonna have more troops out on the ground for the next at least 5 minutes, just before Firebat Hero's economy really starts getting to kick in. I think Flash should actually counter this either with early pressure, and if that early pressure doesn't work, I don't think the Vulture is going to get anything done. I think Flash should go ahead and expand himself, try to equalize the economics here. Or, of course, you could just go for a bunch of factories, but I don't think he's going to do that. Second Vulture, and wow, actually a lot of SCVs being pulled, although I think that's for an expansion. Yes, that is exactly for an expansion. I was thinking for a second that it was going for all in there. I was thinking they had a little too few factories, because if he was going in for push, he probably would have popped down, had his factories much earlier and more troops on the ground, but Flash is trying to equalize this economy. Firebat Hero only losing one SCV, so that's no heavy damage. Going for 3 factories himself, so his economy is definitely kicking in now. Sometimes I just can't tell my players what they're gonna do. But yeah, machine shop spinning for Flash, and he's just staying at 2 fact for the moment. Just setting down more supply depots, and just now getting his new expansion going. And as soon as that's going, he's definitely gonna go for more. Or whether we're gonna see whether he tries to go for some sort of upper tech. I just really look forward to seeing what these guys do a little bit different. I'm not expecting heavy siege battles on this map, because it's simply the way it's laid out. It's very difficult. There are 3 ways to each other's bases. The middle, where the Xel'Naga temples are, and 2 pathways around that middle, where vultures are much more effective than tanks. Now, like 4 or 5 vultures, meanwhile, moving out for Flash. 4 factories, meanwhile, going up for Firebat Hero. So he's playing very, very, very economically. Going to try to get a huge macro going. Also has an armory going, so he's going to try to get an upgrade advantage. Might even go for some Goliaths to prevent any dropships that could be going. Dropships are very standard in TVT play. You just go for huge tank armies and a lot of drops. I believe that's an army also going down, meanwhile, for Flash. And also has an academy going, so that's going to be very interesting whether he uses that academy for scans or something else. Vultures moving out all over the place. We're going to now have an engagement here. Flash has quite a few more vultures, though. Firebat Hero just not having enough vultures. Vulture speed ready for both guys. No mines from what I can see. I don't see any mines being found. Just a huge vulture battle. Flash definitely taking this battle. Firebat Hero trying to play as much as he can, microing his vultures, but now forcing him to run him away. Losing a vulture in the process. Now these vultures are going to be around that single bunker. More vultures and as well, an SCV being pulled off the line. More factories by Firebat Hero, so he's going very vulture heavy. 6 facts for him so far. That's going for upgrades. Since he has no tanks ready so far, I'm assuming he's going for mines. Mines already out now for Flash, and he's just getting his 3rd, 4th, and 5th factory going, as well as a 6th one, so he's going to try to equalize this. I think at this point, economically, both players should be pretty even, although I think Flash might have a slight edge in military. Wow, look at that huge mine lines. Of course, vultures don't get affected by mines because they're hover units, so all those mines are pretty much useless, but those mines are going to pretty much prevent any other forces from moving out. The Marine, Marine dies to a mine there, and just these vultures again engaging each other. That one ramp, no player has an advantage, but now Firebat has quite a few more vultures there, more reinforcements moving in from Flash, but now, wow, Firebat Hero's countered this pretty well, has even more vultures moving in. There's just, wow, just one very large vulture battles. No tanks out for either player yet, so this is definitely a step up from what I'm used to seeing in TVT. It's very interesting to see. And of course, using nothing but vultures completely neutralizes mines, because vultures, of course, don't activate mines. They're pretty much just like all worker units. Mines do nothing to them. Academy now also going down for Firebat Hero, so we're going to see what he's going to do. He's going to try to move out with those vultures. It's a very, very, very large vulture force, and now Flash blocking his own ramp with a bunch of vultures of his own, has 5 or 6, I think 6 factories for both players. Now engagement going off here. Flash is actually quite a few more vultures there. Now Firebat here is not going to be able to engage. He has reinforcements coming in right now from the back, so he's actually trying to slight pincher move, but no, actually he's just going to move in. Just the pincher movement would involve him fighting from the low ground. That's definitely not what he wants to do. He tries to spread out his forces as much as he can, but Flash now, again, too many vultures, and Firebat again forced to retreat. Of course, the advantage to using so many vultures is that even if you lose some, it's very, very easy to reinforce, and you can just go from 6 factories and just reinforce your entire vulture supply just instantly. Firebeater apparently getting ready to take it down another expansion. I don't know if that's wise. That could be overextending himself, because if Flash goes to that location with his vultures, he's definitely going to make Firebeater pay for getting that expansion up. More machine shop Mimo coming up, and Compensation also getting ready for both players against Flash. Just hasn't lost as many vultures as Firebat Hero. The Firebat Hero also has a very large amount. Firebat Hero now really needs to try to get some economic damage, possibly even think of a drop, going a higher tech, getting some dropships out there, but both players again engaging with nothing but vultures. Flash is again superior numbers of vultures. That's definitely going to help him take his battle.